the error was when we were trying to create a asset master, system was giving us the error that there is some inconsistency in our chart of depreciation related to depreciation area 03. Okay, so let me show you how exactly we solved that error, and now we are not getting that error anymore. Okay, so if you remember, it was asking us to check this table T093B. Okay, and in this one, if I provide my company code, which is SF01, and click on online, see, currently it is showing closed fiscal year as 2018. Okay, but the problem was, before, when we were getting the error, at that time this closed fiscal years were blank. Okay, so system was not able to show us any value here. Now normally in SAP ECC, whenever we create a new chart of depreciation based on currently which year we are in, okay, so for example we are in 2018 in terms of April to March. Okay, I'm talking about the financial year. So financial year currently we have 2018, due to which whenever we create a chart of depreciation, system automatically updates the value as the previous fiscal year. So normally this should have been automatically filled with 2017, okay, by default. But in this system, maybe because of some issue with some of the SAP nodes, or maybe if you are also facing the same issue when you are working on the client system, what you need to do is you just need to carry out the fiscal year change program. Normal, what you do in SAP ECC, right? So in order to carry out the fiscal year change program, we normally use this transaction AJAB, right? So you go to accounting, in accounting you go for financial accounting, fixed assets, periodic processing, fiscal year change, sorry, not this, year in closing, AJAB. You need to execute this, you need to tell the system that which fiscal year is already closed for this company code. Okay, so now once I updated this to 2018, actually even I have done wrong, I should have done 2017, but it's okay, because now whatever postings we have to do in 2019, but that is fine. Okay, so if I provided here 2017, I would be able to post the transactions in 2018. But now since 2018 is closed, only thing I need to be careful is whatever transactions I'll be posting, I have to post in 2019. Okay, so that was the only issue which has unnecessarily occupied 2 or 3 days from us. Okay, but now I hope you understood. This is not the normal case. In 1709 also we never faced this issue where this was blank. Okay, but if this is blank, I told you, very straightforward. Go to transaction AJAB, execute the fiscal year change for your previous year. Okay, so I have done the mistake because I have closed 2018 because I was thinking that we are using K4, but actually we are using V3 fiscal year, which is from April to March. Okay, any question on this now? Have you understood how I solved this error? Okay, so now since this error is solved, if I now go to transaction AS03, AS01, the error that we were getting is no more valid, and if I press enter, system is allowing me to go further and create the asset master. But before I go into the asset master creation, because there are already 4 to 5 days since we have done the configuration, I will quickly give you the overview of whatever we have done in the chart of depreciation till now from the asset accounting perspective. So in SPRO, within asset accounting, first of all, we created the chart of depreciation. Let me show you which chart of depreciation we created. We created the chart of depreciation. We created SF01 earlier, but since I was facing the issue, I changed it to SF02. So currently, SF02 is assigned to our company code. Okay, so if I go to SF02, you can see there are 3 depreciation areas. I told you in SAP ECC, only one depreciation area was mandatory if you are using asset accounting. So even if you have multiple ledgers, multiple currencies, only one depreciation area was sufficient. But in S4HANA, for each and every standard non-leading ledger that you have created in your company code, you have to create a depreciation area for that. And that is the reason we created the depreciation area for IFRS separately. Not only for the ledgers, even if you are using any parallel currency, so even for that parallel currency also you have to create a separate depreciation area. That is the reason we created 3 depreciation areas, out of which 2 are posting in real time and 1 is not posting at all. It is only used for the reporting purpose. So parallel currency depreciation areas, normally they don't post anything. They are taking the values from 0, 1, but only thing is they are performing the currency conversion. That's it. Okay. Now, these 2 depreciation areas, 0, 1 and 0, 2, which is for 2 different ledgers, one for 0L and second for IF, they are posting in real time. This kind of setting was not allowed in SAP ECC. If you are using SAP ECC system, you cannot post 2 depreciation areas in real time. Only one depreciation area, most commonly 0, 1, was only allowed to post in real time. All other depreciation areas were always dependent on 0, 1 to pick its value. Okay, so the reason why we created 3 depreciation areas is because we have 2 ledgers and 1 parallel currency. Okay, there is in SAP ECC, because it was not possible to post 2 depreciation areas in real time. That is the reason we were carrying out the periodic activity. And in order to carry out the periodic activity, we were using delta depreciation areas or derived depreciation areas, which are not supported in S4HANA. We don't need delta depreciation area or derived depreciation area anymore, because each and every accounting principle can post in real time. Okay, so whatever I'm telling you, this is very important from the interviews perspective, although in the exams they are not very important, but in the interviews they are definitely going to ask you what are the new things in new asset accounting. So you have to explain this, that in ECC we were only allowed to post 1 depreciation area in real time. And if you want to post second depreciation area, for that we have to create a derived depreciation area, and for making the postings, those postings were only possible as a periodic activity. We were using transaction ABST to make the periodic postings. But in S4HANA, there is no need to create a delta depreciation area, because each depreciation area is independent and post on their own. And that is the reason there is no question of delta depreciation area and there is no question of periodic activities. Okay, so we created this chart of depreciation and then we assigned this chart of depreciation to our company code. Okay, so if I go for company code SF01, you can see it is assigned to chart of depreciation SF02. Okay, and the next thing, if you remember, I told you in general valuation there are some settings which you need to mandatorily perform. So just go to depreciation areas. First one is specify transfer of APC values. In this step, you are telling the system the values will come from where, whether these depreciation areas will pick their own values or these values will come manually. Okay, so you can see depreciation area 01 and 02, they are picking the values automatically. Okay, so they are not dependent on any other depreciation area. But depreciation area 03 is not posting anything, it is just picking the values from 01 and it is just performing the conversion. So this can be INR, this can be Euro. So values will be picked in INR, but it will be converted to Euro and then it will be shown as it is in 03. So this is for APC. Similarly, you have specified transfer of depreciation terms. So here also the same settings. By default, if you create any new depreciation area, it will go and pick the values from 01. But if you remember in the last session, I told you how to make this as 00. You cannot write 00 here. If you try 00, system will throw error. Okay, this error, T093 error. So what you need to do is you need to remove this and you just need to press enter. blank and enter, it will automatically pick 0, 0. But in our case, it is dependent, so I'm keeping it as 0, 1.
Gaurav,
Yes.
what does the term APC mean, Gaurav?
APC is acquisition, procurement, capitalization. So which means the asset procurement cost.
Okay.
See, there are two kind of transactions that you will be doing. APC is whenever you are buying, whenever you are selling, whenever you are capitalizing those transactions, and second is posting the depreciation, which is a periodic activity. So for APC and for depreciation, there are two settings, different settings.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not changing anything here. And then the last thing was this currencies. So if you are creating the depreciation area for parallel currencies, you have to set these two configurations. So define depreciation area for foreign currency. You will go to your company code here, depreciation area and currency. Here you will be specifying what is your parallel currency. So in our case, we created the parallel currency as 30 group currency, and group currency is also INR. But if it is any other currency, you will specify same currency, whatever you have maintained as your group currency. Okay, here also in the next one also, you will be specifying which is the currency type. So we are using the hard currency, sorry, we are using the group currency 30. Okay, so this is the configuration that we have done, and then we were trying to create an asset, and we were getting that error which will not come now. So let's try to create an asset. So I'll go to transaction AS01. Just give me a minute. Sorry. So now let's create an asset. So in transaction AS01, if you remember, we activated this asset class for our chart of depreciation. Okay, so let me show you. So normally, if you go to this configuration of asset accounting, this is the configuration, determine depreciation areas in the asset class. Okay, here these are the different asset classes. Now these are not relevant to any particular chart of depreciation. These are just created at the client level. But whatever asset class you need to use, you have to select that asset class. You have to go into the depreciation areas, and you have to specify whether these depreciation areas are active for this asset class or not. Okay, so this one we activated, right? But if you go to any other, let's say if I go to maybe buildings and go to depreciation areas, see by default, these are deactivated. So you need to activate them in order to get displayed in the asset master. Okay, so let's again go to AS01. I'm just pressing enter. So now that error is not coming, and we can proceed to create a asset. So let's say this is our director car, since this is our vehicle. So I'm just providing this description as director car. Okay, you can maintain whatever fields you want. There are no changes in the fields. Whatever fields you're able to see in ECC, those things are coming here. So just press enter. It will take you to the next one, or you can just click on the time dependent. Again, here also, whatever objects you want to mention, you want to specify the business area, you want to mention the cost center. So let's mention the cost center, because Whatever cost center you will mention here, that cost center will be posted in case of depreciation. So whenever you are posting the depreciation, it is your expense. And if you want to show where exactly this expense is going, in which cost center, you are specifying it here in the asset master. Okay, you can skip this assignment and all. This is optional. So even in ECC, you have the same things. If you want to maintain, you can maintain. Otherwise, just go to the depreciation areas. Okay, again, there is no change here. You can see the this useful life and all we maintained will be configured. So system is assuming the useful life is 5 years. But let's say due to some reason, if you want to change the useful life to 4 years instead of 5, so for book depreciation, which means according to India GAAP, the useful life is 5 years. But according to IFRS, the useful life is 4 years. Okay, so just press enter and save this. Now this is the opening date of starting the depreciation. So depreciation calculation start date. Normally, this is picked automatically once you acquire the asset. So once you capitalize the asset, system will automatically determine the depreciation start date, but it can be changed. So normally, we don't change this. So let's click on save. So our asset number 3002 has been created. Okay, so as of now, we just created the asset. Now, if you want to buy this asset, if you want to purchase this asset, there are two options. One is if you want to buy via our cycle, which means if you want to create a PO and then acquire the asset, that is also possible without any change how you were doing in SAP ECC. But PO process and all is same, but when it comes to accounting, there is a difference, and that is the reason I will just show you how to purchase the asset using a normal FI transaction, that is F-90. So I'll go to accounting, close this general ledger accounting in fixed assets, postings, acquisitions, external acquisition, and F-90 transaction. Okay, which is again the common transaction. Just double click on this. Now you will realize the difference. So you have to specify the document date, posting date. Now, definitely I need to have this posting date in the next year. So document date, let's say is 01/04/2019. Company code, again posting date is 01/04/2019. Now, can you tell me one thing here? In SAP ECC, whenever you are trying to buy the asset, whenever you are using transaction F-90, what document type is populated automatically? Is it KR? What is the standard document type for
I think
acquisition?
right? I don't think so. KR will popular.
Yeah, it is AA, right? In ECC?
Yes. Yeah,
In
yeah.
ECC, yes, in ECC, whenever we buy any asset or whenever we sell any asset, normally the standard document type for all asset related acquisitions is AA, but here it is showing you KR. Okay, we will discuss why it is showing you KR, because there is a big difference here. So what you normally provide in this screen, you are crediting your vendor, which means you are booking the invoice of the vendor and you are telling the system which vendor is providing you this asset. Okay, so I think we already created some vendors. Yeah, so we can use any of this vendor. I'm using this 131. Just press enter. Don't worry about this. Just click on enter. Again enter. Yeah, so for document type KR, an entry is required field in the reference. So we need to specify some reference. So let's say test one and press enter once again. Okay, and here we need to specify the amount at what price we are buying this asset. So I'll specify as, let's say, 10,000. Okay, or maybe this is 5 years, right? Yeah, 10,000 is okay. Baseline date is the date based on which the system will determine the due date of this invoice. Okay, and you need to specify the posting key here. Can anyone tell me what is the posting key that we normally use for asset purchase, asset debit?
7075.
70 for acquisition and 75 for retirement, right? And we need to specify which asset are we debiting here. So just press F4. So we have created these two assets. I created this one earlier one to test, but this one we just now created. So let's continue on this. Okay, and do we need to provide the transaction type? If yes, what was the transaction type that we provide? 100, right? So whenever we purchase any asset, we specify the transaction type as 100. Perfect. Same thing. Just press enter. Now you will get this error. Technical clearing account is not maintained for chart of account SF01. Is this a common error in ECC? Is there anything called as technical clearing account in SAP ECC? Definitely not. In SAP ECC, there is no concept of technical technical clearing account. Okay, this is a new concept which is only applicable in SAP Simple Finance or SAP S/4HANA Finance. Okay, what does it mean? It means we need to create a technical clearing account first, and which is a GL account. We have to create a technical clearing account as a GL account, and the same GL account we have to assign in the configuration. Let me show you how to do that. So first, we need to create a technical clearing account. So I'll go to transaction FS00. Okay, so my assets are starting from 200. So this one, let's say, is 201. Okay, for company code SF01, I'm creating new. GL account type would be balance sheet. Account group also would be balance sheet. So this is technical clearing account. So technical clearing account. Okay, let's go to the control data. I don't remember exactly, but I think it has to be reconciliation account for account type assets. Let's try this. Otherwise, if it is not allowing, we have to remove this indicator. Let's go to create bank interest tab. In the field status group, you have to specify the same field status group that you assign to your asset accounts. So for asset accounts, we normally use G007. Okay, just try to save this. This is saved. So we created a technical clearing account, but creation is not enough, right? It is just created, but it is not assigned to our company code. Okay, so for that, you have to go for SPRO, IMG within asset accounting, integration with general ledger account. So integration with general ledger accounting, and there is a new folder here. Okay, this folder you will not find in SAP ECC. Technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. Okay, so click on this. Define the technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. Just specify, go to here, and here you can see based on the chart of account, we have to specify the technical clearing account. So let's click on new entry. Chart of account is SF01, and technical clearing account that we just created was 201. Right? Just press enter and click on save. Okay, now let's go back again and try to press enter there in our transaction.
But so sir, why we need to create technical clearing account?
Yes, I'm coming to it, Akash, because when you see the posting, then you will understand why we have created that. Okay, so I think we need to come out and try this once again. So F-90. Okay, 31, we have to provide the vendor, which is 131, press enter. Specify the reference, amount, 70, this asset, transaction type 100, and press enter. Okay, so now that error is gone because system has determined the technical clearing account. You can see here, this 201 technical clearing account has been determined by the system. Okay, you have to specify the amount once again. So whatever amount is specified earlier, this will be specified again here also. So now the posting seems to be done. Let's simulate this and see how it is appearing. So if I go for more, document and simulate. Okay, so first of all, it is throwing error, which is a common error. You will also get in ECC. We have still not specified any accounts. We have not maintained the account determination for asset accounting. Okay, so what should we do? In order to maintain that, we will go to, let me come out of this AO90, right? AO90 is a transaction to assign the GL accounts, this particular config. So I have to go for assign GL accounts. For chart of account SF01, account determination, I have to check what account determination is assigned to asset class 3100. Anyone who has no experience into SAP asset accounting? Are you aware of this terminologies AO90 and all, everyone? Or you want me to explain that also? Please let me know if anyone is new to asset accounting completely. I don't have any problem. It will not take much time, but I can explain that. Okay, so in asset accounting,
Gaurav, yeah, please explain, Gaurav.
okay. See, in asset accounting, your GL accounts are based on the account determination. Okay, so in order to determine the GL accounts, if you go to the asset class, let me show you the asset class, general valuation. No, just a minute. Asset classes are available where? Yeah, in the organization structure, you have this asset classes. And when you create the asset class, there are 2-3 things that you specify. Okay, let me show you what are those things. So currently we are using this asset class 3100. If I double click on this, you can see this 3100 asset class is assigned to 31,000 account determination. Okay, now based on this account determination 31,000, we will go to this transaction AO90, okay, which is account determination transaction, and we will go with this particular account determination. And here there are different GLs which we need to maintain. We need to tell the system what will happen in case of depreciation posting, what will happen in case of APC posting, and what will happen in case of special reserves. So normally we don't maintain this, but this balance sheet account and depreciation account we have to maintain for a particular account determination. Okay, so if I go for this balance sheet accounts, you can see there are 2 depreciation areas which are posting in real time, and that is the reason system is asking you the accounts for book depreciation also and IFRS also. Okay, so since we are using ledger based approach, right, currently we are using ledger based approach, so we don't have any problem even if the GL accounts are same in IFRS and book depreciation, because if you are using account based approach, definitely we need different GL accounts. But in case of ledger-based approach, we can assign same GL accounts to both the depreciation areas. So if I go to this book depreciation, you can see we have still not provided any GL account, and that is the reason we are getting this error. What is this error? This error is account is not defined for depreciation area 01 for balance sheet account APC, which is nothing but this account, balance sheet account APC. So whenever we are posting anything in this asset class 3100, which GL account should be debited, that we have to specify here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to first create a GL account. Let's create a GL account. I'll go to transaction FS00. So this is, let's say, 202, which is again one of the asset. Just click on new. Balance sheet account. Account group is also going to be balance sheet, and this is going to be the fixed assets or FA for vehicles. Okay, so all the debit postings will go to this GL account whenever anyone is buying any vehicles, any acquisition for the vehicles. So this would be again the reconciliation account for account type asset, and this one also would be G007 for asset accounts. Just click on save. So this GL account has been created, which we can now assign to our account determination screen. Okay, so once this is done, now that error will not come. System will automatically determine that account. Okay, so based on the scenarios that we will be executing, we will also run one scenario on acquisition, retirement, asset sales, and all. So we need to specify all these GL accounts. Okay, so as of now is okay because we are just doing the acquisition. So this one is fine. But when we will talk about the scenarios, we also will need to maintain all these GL accounts. So this is AO90 screen, which allows you to maintain the different GLs based on different scenarios in this account determination screen. Okay, so now if I go back again to our invoice, let's see if I press enter, it goes away or we need to come completely out of the screen. So you can see, okay, before I tell you about this, can you tell me what is the normal accounting entry when you perform the asset acquisition? What is the normal accounting entry in ECC? Anyone? Whenever I am purchasing the asset, what is the accounting entry with vendor? What would be debited? What would be credited?
Asset account will be debited and vendor will be credited.
Asset account debit and vendor will be credited. Okay, this is a normal posting. Let's see what is happening here. So this is also correct. Vendor is getting credited and asset is getting debited. But if you see here, is this the asset account? 201. This is a technical clearing account, right? Then where exactly the asset is coming into the picture? Where is 202, which we created just now? Okay, so in order to see that, just click on this asset accounting and it will give you the complete picture. Okay, still I think it is asking us for, just give me a minute, document. Let me do this simulation once again and click on asset accounting. No, let's go back and come to this screen once again. So F-90, which is acquisition with vendor. Okay, we have to provide the reference. The vendor number is enter. Amount, posting key would be 70. Here we will specify our asset with transaction type 100. Press another enter. Here you have to specify the amount and now more, document and simulate. So, oh, it is still showing this error. Yeah, sorry. This is error for 02 area. We only specified the GL account for 01. So let's go to, where is that? Yes, account determination 3100 balance sheet account, but this time we need to provide for 2. I'll assign the same GL because we are using ledger based approach. So just click on save. Let's try if we are able to simulate this now. Okay, now it is working. So just click on asset accounting. Here you will get the complete picture, what is happening in the background. So earlier in SAP ECC, this was the only posting and there was only one document created. So let me write it here. In ECC, only one document is posted. Okay, with document type AA, and this was the posting. Now what is happening in SAP S/4HANA is in S4 there will be one document called as operational document. Okay, please remember this. This is very important question again from the interview perspective. So there will be one document called as operational document with document type KR. Okay, what would be the accounting entry? Instead of asset debit, this would be technical clearing account debit. So technical clearing account debit, vendor credit. So vendor is getting credited in the same this one. So there is no change in the vendor line item. But apart from one operational document, there will be multiple valuation specific documents. What do you mean by valuation specific documents? Valuation specific documents means how many accounting principles you have, that much number of documents will be created. Okay, so how many accounting principles we are following? Currently, we are following 2. So 2 accounting principles. One is India GAAP, or maybe let's write the ledger, 0L and IF. So there will be 2 documents created, one for 0L and second for IF. So for 0L, what would be the posting? This will be document type AA. The posting would be actual asset account, asset getting debited, and technical clearing account is getting credited. So in short, this technical clearing is only used for the clearing purpose. Okay, so here it is debit, here it is credit in the same posting. Okay, so at any point of time, if you go and see the balance in the technical clearing account, this will be always 0. Right? Same thing, if you go to ledger IF, again there will be another document type AA, same document type, and the posting will be again the same. Okay, the only difference would be this posting will be done in ledger IF. This posting will be done in the ledger 0L. So in short, in SAP S4HANA, see in ECC there was only one document, irrespective of how many ledgers you have. Because even if you have multiple ledgers, all the ledgers are dependent on 0, 1. So at the time of document posting, there was only one ledger which was having the values. That is the reason there was only one document getting created. But in SAP S4, since multiple depreciation areas can post in real time, so the system is dividing the document into 2 parts. First one is an operational document, which is common for all the accounting principles. Vendor will be credited in both 0L as well as IFRS. Okay, but asset part will be taken separately, valuation specific. And that is the reason we need a technical clearing account, which will be used to clear the balances in both the accounting principles. Okay, so if somebody asks you how many documents are created when you purchase the asset in S4HANA, it would be one operational document and the valuation specific documents will be created with the same number that you have the number of ledgers. So how many ledgers are posting in real time, that much number of documents will be created in the valuation specific posting. Okay, let me show you how it will look like in the system now. So if you see this, what is happening? Currently, we are looking at India GAAP accounting principle. So in India GAAP accounting principle, there are 2 documents. One is document type KR. If you see these lines, so document type, let me just try to, so document type KR is having 2 lines, vendor credit and technical clearing account debit. Okay, and then in 0L, you can see this is valuation specific document based on accounting principle. So in the valuation specific document, 201 is getting credited and 202 is getting debited. Okay, so at any point of time, 201 plus minus 0. Okay, this is just the internal posting it is doing. But otherwise, at any point of time, the technical clearing account balance will be always 0. Now, what if I want to see IFRS pictures? So I will go to, for IFRS, yes, I have to select it from here. So IFRS, and again, I can specify the currency. So I want to see the company code currency. See, same thing is happening in the IFRS also. So document type KR, which is a common document, which is posted in both 0L as well as IF, and then valuation specific document, which is only posted in IFRS, is again the same. Okay, but system is keeping two separate documents for two accounting principles because they are posting in real time and they are completely independent of each other. You understood now what is technical clearing account, Akash? Why it is required? This is to support the real-time postings.
Gaurav,
Yes.
what is the business use, Gaurav? Means if you do like this.
No, see, earlier, again, as I told you, Varun, earlier, if you are using multiple accounting principles, let's say you are using India GAAP in real time and IFRS as these parallel reporting. So in that case, you were always dependent on India GAAP for your IFRS reporting. And that too, in the period end, you have to do a lot of period end activities to get the IFRS results. But now, since IFRS is also posting in real time, you are not dependent on 01, first thing. And second thing, you are getting your reports even for IFRS in real time. And you don't need to perform any period end activities. So that is a benefit. And in order to achieve that, SAP has to create this multiple documents because you are posting multiple documents in multiple accounting principles. And in order to segregate those, they have to use this technical clearing account in between.
Okay.
So the benefit is real-time report. You are getting real-time report in all the accounting principles and you are avoiding the period end activities. So definitely everyone likes to see the reports without carrying out any further activities in the period end. So that is a benefit of this new asset accounting. It provides you real-time values in multiple accounting principles without the use of or without any kind of period end activities required. Akash, is it clear?
Okay.
Now you know what is technical clearing account, why it is required.
Yes, yes.
Okay, this is a very important question when you are going for the interviews. They will definitely, if you specify in your CV that I have worked on new asset accounting, they will definitely ask you what is the change in the acquisition posting, what is the change in the procurement posting, and when you are saying technical clearing account, they will definitely ask you what is the purpose of technical clearing account and all those things. So just remember this entire cycle, and then you will be very confident to answer this question.
Gaurav, if we post from procurement side also, it happens like this only.
Same thing, yes, yes. Whenever you are posting from the procurement, only thing is whatever accounting entries will come, that will come via PO. But the postings will be same, 70, 75. Even in SAP ECC also, whenever you purchase any asset from MM, the posting key is 70 only, right? So same thing will happen. Only thing is it will flow via MM model.
Okay.
Yes, Ujay. Ujay, you unmuted yourself. Do you have any questions? Okay. Okay, so now if you are okay with these postings, you will just click on, just come out of the simulation mode and let's try to post this document. Now, again, this is a new thing that you will not find in SAP ECC. Okay, what it is saying is system is not able to find the document number for ledger IF. Okay, let me tell you first what is happening. So this document, how many documents are getting posted? Let's make it little bit interactive because then only you will understand. So I'm removing this ECC. We understood that in ECC there was only one document. Now in S4, how many documents are created? Can you tell me?
Four documents.
Sorry, Mahesh.
I think 4 documents.
No, it is 3. First one is
Okay.
KR. Okay. The document
Yeah.
KR is a common document. It will go to 0L as well as IF, and that is the reason this is an operational document which will go in all the ledgers. Then you have asset accounting document which will only go to 0L, and third one is again AA which will only go to IF. Now we already maintained the number ranges, right? If you go to FBN1, we already have the number ranges maintained for company code SF01. But can you tell me this number ranges are maintained for which ledgers? Is it maintained for all ledgers or only one ledger?
Not specified.
Not specified means what? Is it for all ledgers or what exactly?
So I think by default it will be for 0L.
By default, it will be for 0L. Now in SAP ECC, I don't know whether you worked on multiple ledgers or not. There was another configuration. There were different document number ranges. Okay, so you can provide a separate document number range for IFRS. You can provide the separate document number range for 0L. Okay, and whenever a document was getting created, it was going to IFRS and it was picking the document number for IFRS. And whenever you are posting the document in all the ledgers, see what will happen. Let me tell you here. So this document type KR we posted in both 0L as well as IFRS. But here it is not asking for the document number range. Let's say my document number is 10001. The same document number will be shown in 0L as well as IFRS. But the reason here is again, if you are posting something in the common, like you are not specifying the ledger, same document which is picked in 0L will be copied for IFRS also. Okay, only if you are posting without specifying the ledger. But if you want to post something only to 0L, then again no problem, because whatever you maintain in FBN1 is valid for 0L. But if you want to post anything into IFRS, non-leading ledger, okay, then system will not use this number. System will ask you the separate number for IFRS, and that you have to maintain in the configuration. Let me show you that configuration. So I'll go to SPRO, IMG, financial accounting global settings, documents, number ranges, or maybe document types. You have this defined document types in the ledger. So your ledger is IFRS. Here you have to specify the number range. So your document type is AA, okay, and which number range you want to use for it. So maybe I'll just go for let's go with 01. I don't know whether that is maintained or not. Let's see. Save it. No, it is not used. So we need to first create the number range. Let me create the number range first. So define the document number ranges. Your company code is SF01. Click on intervals. Okay, although this 01 is available, but it is not picking, I'll tell you the reason. So let me just click on new 99, let's say for 9999, 99901, and let's go with this one. Okay, let's save this, come out. And now go to this document types in a ledger, IF. For document type AA, let's maintain this number is 99. Let's try to save. See, now it is not stopping us. Why? Because for non-leading ledgers, the number range that you are defining must not be already in use by the leading ledger. Okay, 01 is already being used for document type SA, AB, which are used for ledger posting 0L. So we need to create a separate number range which should not be disturbed for 0L, which should be completely different for IFRS. Okay, so now if you again go back to our invoice and let's try to post this. Okay, so now system has posted the document. Okay, let's see how many documents are getting posted. So if I go to document and display, so this is which document? Can you tell me this is operational document or valuation specific document where I can see the vendor? Or if you go to header, you are able to see the document type KR. So this is which document, operational or valuation specific?
Operational.
This is the operational document, right? Then where exactly will you be able to see the valuation specific documents? So in the operational document, vendor is credited and technical clearing account is debited. Now if I want to see other documents, you have to go for more. Okay, in the environment, here you will be able to see document environment and all the accounting documents. Just click on accounting documents. It will show you how many documents it is showing. It is showing you total of 4 documents. But if you see, accounting documents are 3. This is the asset transaction. This is not a accounting document. There are only 3 accounting documents, 1, 2, and 3. So first one, you can see this one where there is no ledger group, which means this is applicable for all the ledgers. Okay, so this document which we are seeing currently, operational specific. And these 2 documents, this one and this one, are valuation specific documents. So if you double click on this 0L, it is showing you technical clearing account credit and asset account debit. Okay, similarly, if you go to the next one, which is only for IFRS, see this is the number range which we just now created. So double click, it will also show you the same thing. So in short, one operational document and same number of documents as your depreciation areas, not depreciation areas, sorry, same number of documents as your accounting principle will be created as valuation specific documents. Okay, any questions? And now if you want to see how this asset will look like, you go to AW01N, which is your Asset Explorer report. Okay, so you can see it is showing for different accounting principles, even parallel currency is also appearing here. So in India GAAP, there are 2 accounting principles, sorry, there are 2 depreciation areas. One is your main depreciation area and second is for parallel currency. And for IFRS, you have this depreciation area which will show you the IFRS results. Okay, so for this particular asset, if we just look at year 2019, we acquired this asset at 10,000. Okay, so the acquisition cost for this asset is 10,000. System, we told the system the life of this asset is how many years? 5 years. Okay, when we created this asset, let me show you what I mean. If you go to this asset master AS03, so when we created the asset, we told the system that for book depreciation, the useful life is 5 years. But for IFRS, the life is 4 years. So what would be the depreciation? Depreciation would be every year the total value of the asset divided by 5, because in the 5 years entire value should be depreciated. But in case of IFRS, it will be total value divided by 4. Okay, so let's see whether it is getting calculated properly or not. So 10,000 divided by 5 is 2,000, which is correct. So every yearly 2,000 would be depreciated in case of leading ledger. But in case of IFRS, if I double click on this, you can see the value is different. But what is happening now, these are getting calculated in real time, and this will be getting posted also in real time. But in case of ECC, these values were calculated in real time, but the posting was only happening as a delta depreciation area at the month end when you execute ASKB, periodic transaction. Okay, so that is a benefit of this new asset accounting. Each and every depreciation area is independent of each other. Okay, so if you want to know, this 2,500 is for a complete year, but every month how much amount will be depreciated, you can go to posted values, and it will show you every month there will be the depreciation of 208.33. So if you sum it all in the 12 months, it will be matching to 2,500. But in case of book depreciation, you can see it is only 166, which will be summed to 2,000. Okay. Any question till now? Anything that you have not understood? No? Okay, let me add one more scenario here. Now we purchase the asset. Okay, let me first show you some things and then I'll come to here. So if you go to the master data, now you can see system has automatically determined the start date of the depreciation. And also if you go to the general one, here you will be seeing the capitalization date. So this will come automatically when you acquire the asset. Okay, now what are the price at which we purchase this asset? For 0L, which is our India GAAP, and for IF, which is our IFRS reporting. So what are the price at which we purchase this asset? What is the price?
10,000.
10,000.
10,000, right? So this was also 10,000. This was also 10,000. So in this case, okay. But let's say now consider a scenario. Cost of asset is 10,000 plus there is a freight of 1,000. So what do you think? What should be the cost of asset? Whether it should be 10,000 or it should be 11,000? What do you think? It should be 10,000 or 11,000 including freight?
It will be depending on the accounting principle of that country.
Exactly. So let's say it will be totally, there is no firm answer that whether the value will be 10,000 or 11,000. So if you see the rules, each country has different rules. So we are just taking the example. Let's say India GAAP says 10,000 because freight is not the part of the asset. But let's say IFRS says, no, this is, even freight is part of the asset. So you have to book this as 11,000. So in that case, what you will do? Because whenever we are purchasing the asset, in the asset acquisition, we are not specifying separate price for each accounting principle. We are just specifying 10,000. And for both the accounting principles, it is taking us 10,000. Now let's say, for example, after posting this transaction, I want to correct it. So as of now, this is incorrect. This is only 10,000, but I want 11,000. So can I post one additional 1,000 only for IFRS? Is it possible in SAP ECC to post depreciation area specific posting? You only want to post 1,000 to IFRS. It should not affect at all to your leading ledger. Is it possible? Have you understood my question? I'm repeating again. In SAP ECC, if I want to post something only to a particular depreciation area, not to all the depreciation areas, is it possible? What do you think? Yes, no, maybe something, at least you answer. Something on the chat screen.
Yes.
Yes, possible? Akash, is it possible?
Yes.
How can we do? Can you just tell me? How is it possible? How can I, which transaction code should I use? Akash, can you tell me which transaction I should use to post only in IFRS? Or the way, forget about the transaction code, like how is it possible? How can I proceed with that transaction? Akash, you don't remember or what exactly? If you remember, just tell me so that I can correlate that scenario. Okay, let's say Akash is right, Akash is correct. Okay, it is possible, but I only want to understand how. Maybe someone else can answer this. It is possible, 100% it is possible, but there is a way. So which is that way?
Type specific.
Sorry, Vijay?
Transaction type specific. We have to
Transaction type specific. Yes, transaction type specific. So in SAP ECC also this is possible. If I want to post
I
only,
and I think we can do by F-90. We can enter this amount.
no, if you do with F-90, okay, let me show you. Okay, that's the reason I'm telling you, make this interesting, then you will be able to benefit it. If I just keep on telling, it will not make sense. Okay, so yes, so you are saying I use transaction F-90. Okay, I'll specify the vendor. If I press enter, enter, and also reference. Okay, so now the question is, if I specify 703002 and if I specify the transaction type as 100, then it will go to all the ledgers. It will not only go to IFRS, but we want to post only to IFRS. If you want to post only to IFRS, it is only possible if you create a particular transaction type. Okay, if you create a transaction type and in that transaction type settings, you say that this transaction type is only valid for this depreciation area. Okay, so there is a configuration in SAP ECC where you can create your own transaction types and you can restrict a particular transaction type to the particular depreciation area. So let me show you. I don't know whether it still exists or not because it is not required anymore, but let's see if it is available. So in asset accounting, you have these transactions and let me go to general valuation, depreciation areas. No. Okay, acquisitions, define transaction types for acquisition. No, not here. But there is one place in SAP ECC where we specify that this transaction type is only valid for a particular depreciation area, so that system will post only to that depreciation area. Okay, but in SAP S/4HANA, we don't need that. Okay, so transaction type specific depreciation areas are not supported anymore in S/4HANA because SAP has provided a new transaction code which will automatically allow you in the simpler way. So normally for asset related transaction, we use this transaction called as AB01. If you go for AB01, you can post different kind of transactions on the asset accounting. AB01 is a common transaction in ECC also. But again, whether this transaction will be posted to all the ledgers or to the particular ledger, it depends upon the transaction type. Okay, again, we are not going to use this. The new transaction is AB01L. AB01L. Now you specify your company code, your asset, forget about the transaction type, or you can specify transaction type 100, press enter. Okay, see here it is asking you for which accounting principle you are posting this. So I want to post only to IFRS. Okay, this transaction AB01L is not available in ECC at all, and that is the reason we are dependent on transaction type. Okay, here we are using the same transaction type 100, but we are specifically, these fields are included now in AB01L. Okay, so the document date is 01/04/2019, again 01/04/2019. Asset value date is mandatory, so 01/04/2019. Amount posted, I want to post 1000. Okay, just click on enter. Let's go to more. Okay, now definitely we need to provide the corresponding GL account, right? Because we are not going to charge vendor for this. Vendor will be only charged for 1000 because freight is related to the different vendor. So it should go to the clearing account. So system will ask us the clearing account. Let's see. Let's try to post this or simulate this. So it is asking you contra account for acquisition value. So we have to provide a contra account for the acquisition value. So first create the contra account. Let's go to FS00. Contra account can be balance sheet account. So I'm just creating 203. Balance sheet, contra for asset purchase. Okay, and then go to control data. Again, I think it is required to be asset. Let's see. G007. Let's click on save. I doubt, I think it is not required. So let's remove this and we'll see if it is required, we will make it. Save. Okay, and then you will go to transaction AO90 where you specify the GL accounts. So let me go to transaction AO90. Our chart of depreciation is SF01. In the account determination, we need to go for vehicles, and this is available in the balance sheet, and we are specific to IFRS. So this is the contra account. So we need to provide 203, which means this 202 will be debited and 203 will be credited. Just click on save. Okay. Now if I go to this transaction once again, let's try to simulate. Okay, so it is working fine. So 202 is debit and 203, which is a contra account, is credit. Okay, and this will be only for IFRS. This is not for different accounting principles. This is only for IFRS posting. So if you click on post, okay, so asset transaction was posted with this document number. And now this is only document number, right? It will not go to 0 well at all. So there is no question of operational document and valuation specific document because we are using transaction AB01L, which itself means we are only posting to the particular valuation area. So this document is only valuation specific. Okay. Now if you go to Asset Explorer, double click on book depreciation area. So here 10,000, but in IFRS, let me just refresh this asset. You can see it is 11,000 because freight is also part of this. And you can see very clearly that there are two transactions, one for 10,000, second for 1,000. Okay, so accordingly, system has also changed the depreciation because now it is not anymore 10,000 divided by 4, it is 11,000 divided by 4. Okay, any questions till now?
Hello, Gaurav, Sandeep here.
Yes, Sandeep.
So Gaurav, in real time, so how this situation or how this scenario is handled? So will they post this amount, total 11,000 amount at a time, or separately they will post 1,000 for another accounting principal?
Yes, so at the same time, 11,000 is not possible, Sandeep, and that is the reason we are using OB01, AB01L, because at the same time, you are posting the transaction to multiple ledgers. Okay, and normally, once the document is posted, there is the adjustment document. Okay, Sandeep, so it is not possible in the single transaction that we have the two separate values for two depreciation areas. So whenever you are purchasing, first of all, both will have the same values and then you can post the adjustment entry.
But for the accounting principal India GAAP, right? So we need to book total 11,000 at a time, right? So in this case, so operational document will be like when we are posting first time. So that time account operational document will be created for 11,000 only, right?
Yeah, if the requirement is 11,000 for both India GAAP as well as IFRS, then you will be posting 11,000.
Okay. Otherwise, we will just go with the 10,000. Then additionally, we'll for the 1,000 we will separately post two document for each accounting principal.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay, Gaurav, thanks.
Okay, so let's now try to proceed with this scenario. So normally what we do once we purchase the asset, we go for the depreciation run, right? So if you go for the depreciation run, again, we first need to configure the GL accounts. Okay, so maybe before I go to transaction AFAB, let's go and create some GL accounts which can be configured in the account determination. Okay, so the first thing that we need to create is we need to create a GL for depreciation, which is an expense account, and we need to create a accumulated depreciation, which is a part of the balance sheet account. So I'll go for 204 new. So GL account type would be balance sheet, and this would be my accumulated depreciation account for vehicles. Okay, so control data, this would be reconciliation account type for assets. And here you need to specify G0067 once again. Okay, so just click on save. And the next GL that we need to create is for expense. So let me see which range is available for expense. So we only created one expense, 400. So I can use 401 new. This would be primary or secondary. Depreciation is what? Primary or non-operating? Depreciation cost goes to CO or not? Normally we want to post, right? And that is the reason I'm creating this as a primary cost, right? And this is a depreciation account for vehicles. Okay, let's go to control data. Nothing is required here. Go to create bank interest. In the field status group, let's select the expense account. Okay, so cost accounts are G004. Again, just click on save. Yeah, this is important. The cost element category was not specified. Do you want to lock the GL account for posting? I'll say no. See, if you are not creating the cost element for the primary cost GL account, that GL account will by default get locked till the time you don't create a cost element. Okay, so just say no and specify the cost element here in the control data. Okay, so cost element category would be 0, 1 and save this. Okay, now these two GL accounts that we created, again we need to go to transaction AO90, and in the depreciation tab we have to specify the depreciation accounts. So accumulated depreciation account here, which is 204. Okay, so what are this? Sorry, let's first assign this expense account, which is our depreciation account, which is we just now created as 201. Okay, sorry, 401, not 201, 401. So this is our accumulated depreciation and this is our depreciation. Okay, what are these accounts? So you must be aware in SAP ECC also, depreciation are different types. You have special depreciation, you have unplanned depreciation, you have transfer of reserves. Okay, so we are only providing the ordinary depreciation. Ordinary depreciation means the depreciation that we carry out every month end. Just click on save. One more thing, if you remember in SAP ECC, if you want to post your depreciation also to the cost center or any other cost object, then there is one configuration which is in financial accounting, asset accounting, integration with general ledger accounting. There is something called as additional account assignment objects, where you need to assign the objects which are required at the time of asset posting. So specify account assignment types. Just click here, select your company code, go to depreciation area. So book depreciation area, account assignment object. Just click on new entries. Here it will show you all the different account assignment objects like fund center, grant, profit center, segment. But currently we are going to use cost center. We have specified the cost center in the asset master, right? So just click on cost center. Here normally we provide star. Okay, so this should be star and this should be APC value. One more line for depreciation. So again, KOSTL, this should be star and this should be depreciation run, and this too has to be ticked. Okay, this is common, even in ECC also you find this. So I think it is star, it is not taking. Let me put manually star. So this by default star is not working, you have to specify star. Okay, so just click on save. Now we have done this for depreciation area 1. For other depreciation areas, is it required? Do you think IFRS and parallel currency it is required? Normally not required. Why? Because CO postings are only going to ledger 01. So it will only go to the book depreciation, not to the IFRS. So anyways, cost center postings will not go to IFRS. Okay, so you can skip this activity. For this one, it is mandatory. Okay, so now if I go to transaction AFAB, which is our normal depreciation posting, this transaction also has a new look. Okay, so if you go to AFAB, you can see there are a lot of changes compared to ECC. In ECC, you were specifying whether you are performing the repeat run or you are, there were different options, right? Whether you are performing the special depreciation, unplanned depreciation, whether you are rerunning, you are repeating. Okay, so all those options are not available because in ECC, we were telling the system what to do. But now SAP S4HANA system is intelligent enough. It automatically collects the information whether this is a normal run. If you specify the spatial depreciation, it will automatically consider the spatial run. If you already executed the depreciation for particular selection criteria, it will automatically consider as a repeat run. Okay, so you don't need to provide those information. Also, this accounting principle earlier, because without accounting principle 01, it was not possible to execute the depreciation. So it was always considering 01 and then it was passing on the values to the other depreciation areas. But now, even you can perform this depreciation run for a particular depreciation area independently, okay, which is normally not required. Normally, this is a month-end activity which is done on the same day for both IFRS as well as local accounting principles. So normally we don't provide this, but there is an option where you can provide this information also. Okay, so specify the posting period as 1, and then totals log will give you the total log. It will not tell you asset by asset. If you want asset by asset, in ECC there was a tick mark, list assets. Okay, so if you want to do that, click on detailed log. Okay, all other things are same. If you want to specify the asset, you can specify the single asset. Otherwise, just click on execute. This is the test run. So execute. It is saying there is a document number range 03 missing. So let's create the number range through FPN1. SF01 interval 03 is already there. Then why it is saying it is missing? Depreciation posting run, create document number range using internal. It is set as external currently. Okay, so let me remove this and click on save. Okay, let's go back to depreciation posting once again. Click on execute. Normal, even in ECC also you get this message. Just click on yes. So for leading ledger, no issue. Okay, it is green, so everything is okay. But for IFRS, it is showing some error. What is that error? Account, okay, we again missed the account. Okay, in AO90, we need to specify the account for IFRS also. So AO90, SF01, account determination for 31,000. Depreciation, we need to go for IFRS and we need to
Here
provide.
we can assign same ledger, sir.
Sorry, Akash?
Here we can assign same ledger.
Same GL accounts, yes. If you are using ledger-based approach, normally we assign the same GL accounts. And I will also tell you one more thing, in which you don't need to provide this manually. There is one configuration in the depreciation area. When we create a depreciation area, system will automatically pick the account determination from 01. I'll show you. Okay, so this is 401 and click on save. Okay, so now if I come out and try once again, let's click on execute, yes. Still there is an error. Let's see what is this error now. No document number found for entry view of document AF and ledger IF. Now I think you should be able to understand this. So system is trying to create a valuation specific document for IFRS and there is no number range assigned for AF. If you remember, we already provided the number range for AA document type, but we need to now provide for AF. So how to do that? Let's go to the configuration, SPRO, financial accounting global settings, document type, and here we need to provide for ledger IF. Okay, so AA99 is provided, but let's create for AF also. Now, if you want to create a separate number range, you can create, but as of now, I'm just providing the same number range. So the numbers will be common. Okay, and let's go to posting run once again. Let's come out and execute. Okay, so everything looks fine now. This is green. Okay, so you can see cost center is only flowing to leading depreciation area because only postings from FI ledger 0L are going to CO. If you want, you can also set up IFRS posting going to CO, but this is mandatory. So your main ledger, leading ledger should always post to the CO. Well, this is optional. So if I want to perform this production run, I can remove the test run, but if I execute similar to ECC, it will give me the message that it has to be executed in the background processing. Okay, so just click on continue, go to more, program, execute in background. Just provide the output device. So same, you just need to provide the output device, enter, immediate, or if you want to schedule, you can provide the time. Just click on save. Okay, and now if you want to see whether this is posted or not, you can just go to Asset Explorer, which is AW01N. Okay, so here, if you go for book depreciation, just click on posted values. You can see for the first month values are posted, other months are planned because we already executed the depreciation for the first month. Okay. I think we discussed a lot of things today. Maybe we should not proceed because at least we need to have 2 sessions on asset accounting rather than completing everything in one. So let's meet tomorrow again and we will complete this asset cycle. Okay, so we will proceed with the other things like retirement, scrapping, how to deal with that. Although there are not much of changes, but yes, there are small changes in that also. And I'll see if there is anything else in the asset accounting, we will discuss it tomorrow. So any questions? Yes. So my recommendation would be, please go through this video before tomorrow's session because there were a lot of topics we discussed. So if you go through the video, you may come up with a lot of questions again. Okay, so that can be discussed tomorrow. If you have any question now, you can ask. Otherwise, tomorrow also you can ask the questions related to today's session. Okay, I'll try to share this video by tomorrow morning itself so that tomorrow you get full time to see this video. Ujay is asking a question. Yes, yeah, just 1 minute. Ujay is asking the question, in account-based approach, suppose we have 2 accounting principles. Now do we have to create 2 technical clearing accounts? The answer is no. Technical clearing account will be always 1 because the value at the end of the day in the technical clearing account is going to be 0. And on top of that, whenever you are using account-based approach, there will be one more account which will be required. Okay, so anyways, Ujay, tomorrow we are going to talk about how to handle account-based approach scenario in SAP.